Dr. Erica with Rosie Research, and this month we are doing Rosie Research in the Pirates Treasure Lab. And Rosie gets, she goes on a whale watching tour, and she gets taken by pirates. And during the lab, you guys learn all about shipbuilding and engineering and buoyancy. So part of the add-on activities that we're doing is all sort of delving into that idea. And one thing that's really fun, especially for the younger kids, is to do the floating raisins or craisins also work. So what you can do is you put some craisins in a glass, and then you're just going to add some sparkling water. Now if you don't have sparkling water, you could use something like baking soda that's been mixed in with water, and you add a little vinegar, and that will give you the same types of bubbles. And so as we add this in, and this is a very well loved one, you'll see that our craisins come up and float, and then they sink, and then they go up and float, and they sink. And you can ask your child, why would that be? How come sometimes they're floating and sometimes they're sinking? And what you want them to look at is the number of bubbles that are on your raisins as they come up, and how many are on it as they go down. Because your raisins are naturally more dense than water, and so things that are more dense than water are going to sink. But we have all these little teeny tiny bubbles in here that are less dense than water. And when they attach onto that little raisin or the craisin, they bring it up to the surface. When there's enough of them, it starts to float up to the surface. And then when they get to the surface and they pop and they leave the raisin, it becomes too dense again for the water, and it sinks back down. So you can think of these, if you want to do it in the Pirate's Treasure kind of way, as little mermaids attaching to this deep sunken treasure ship, and they all bring it back up to the surface, and once they're at the surface they leave and the ship sinks back down, and they come back to help and they bring it up to the surface and they leave and it sinks back down. And it's kind of a fun way to look at how things float and how things sink and how we can attach things. How do life vests work? People will naturally maybe sink, but we can add a life vest to us, which is kind of like these bubbles, and it will make us float all of a sudden. So that's a fun activity to be doing with your kids. Again, this is part of our Pirates Treasure Lab, and you can get the lab individually at rosieresearch.com/shop. Or you can become a patron, where every month you're subscribing to the labs that we come out with. You get all of the labs, all of the videos, all of these fun add-on activities, parent-teacher guides, places where you can buy anything that's in the labs. So it's a full resource kit for parents and teachers to have a lot of fun with your kids' science at home. We would love to hear any questions or comments that you have in the comment section down below. And feel free to follow us on social media to see what sorts of labs we're thinking up and activities that you're going to be doing in the coming months. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you have fun with our dancing raisins.